Alright, here we go, video number 4. In this one I'm going to try and create a little, what will we call it, like a text log list, or I guess, so it'll be what we're going to have is like a little menu or list, I guess, that when we run a function it's going to log text to it, and that text is going to go up the screen, and it'll be scrollable, and when it hits a certain point it's going to start recycling those text items, so it's going to delete the old ones and create new ones. Now I said I was going to do each menu in 2 videos, but I reckon I can just power through this one and get it done in one. See how we go. I'm going to start by setting up the GUI elements first, but we'll try and do those quickly, so bear with me. We'll get going with that now. So the first thing I have is my canvas here, so same as last time, I've just got some settings in there that match how I want the screen to work, and I've got that saved as a prefab, even though there's nothing in it. So the first thing I'm going to add is a UI image. We're going to name that text log. That'll do. We're going to add an image to that, which we're going to call Viewport. And I'm going to add an image to that, which I'm going to call Content. Alright, cool. We'll just apply that so it saves it all. To the text log, I'm going to add a scroll rect. I think that's all we need for that one. For the viewport, I'm going to add a mask. And to the content, we're going to add a vertical layout group and a content size fitter. Alright, cool. So we'll start setting that up. Actually, one more thing before we do. Back on the text log, create another UI. What's this one? This one's a scroll bar. Cool. And we'll just quickly set that to be bottom to top. Alright. I think actually, before we set this up, let's do the sizing. So I'll get the text log, I'll make that 300 wide by 200 tall. The viewport, actually I'll change some colors a bit too, because that's a bit bright. I'm going to make the text log light blue. The viewport, doesn't really matter what we make the viewport, it's going to be hidden because it's a mask, but I'll make it grey. And the content I'll turn just light green for now. I'll probably end up hiding that too, so it doesn't matter. Alright, the viewport, what did I make that? I'll say 290? Yeah, it's good enough. 290 by 180. Actually, you know what? 280 by 180. That looks good. I like that. I'm going to move that a little bit to the left, just to get it over there. And where's that scroll bar? We'll just move that to the right. I could probably make that a bit taller too, so I'll make that as tall as the mask, 180. Alright, cool. Now we can start setting some stuff up. So first thing, text log. Let's set the content to be the content. We don't need horizontal scrolling, I'll get rid of that. We want it to be clamped. And the viewport, we'll just select that, it's the viewport. And we want a vertical scroll bar, which is that one there. There we go. I'll leave the visibility on permanent for now, it doesn't matter. We'll go to the content, and we've got the content size fitted there, so I'm going to add a text item to it. There it is. And I'll just change a couple of things with this, tidy the text up, make it a bit darker. We'll actually add some text. Text log goes here. That'll do. Something like that. Set it to best fit. And I might set it to be sort of the middle justification, just so it's in the center of the text box. Probably doesn't need to be that tall either. I'll just set it to 20 height. Cool. Just apply all that. Alright, cool. On the content, we've got the content size fitter here. Let's just set that to min size for both. There we go. And the spacing for the layout group we'll set to 5. Seems like a good value. Child alignment, okay, because we want this text to go from, we want new items to be on the bottom, old items to be on the top, so I'm going to set the child alignment to be lower left. I believe that should do the trick. If not, there's something we can do in the script to fix it. Alright, cool. Viewport, I'm just going to untick the show mask graphic, just so the viewport's hidden. And I might move the content a bit to the left, so it sits over here. and we'll want to adjust the pivot point, and hopefully that's going to work, because I always have trouble with it. If I set that to 0, yeah, see, it's gone too low. The fix for that seems to be you just run it. So if I run that, you'll notice it jumps up, so it's no longer half cut off. If I go back out, there we go, 0, apply, yeah, see, it's correct now. I don't know why, it just seems to be a thing. I'm going to hide the image for the content as well. There we go, so we just have just the text sitting on the blue background. I'll just run that so you can see what it looks like. Nothing fancy. If we give it a quick test, so if I highlight the text and just duplicate it, there we go, you see it goes up rather than down. And just quickly, if I select the very first text item, there we go, it's at the top, which is what we want. We want the newest text item, the most recently created one, to be at the bottom, which is where it is. So I'll just undo that. So we've only got the one. Now, what do we need to do? Just having a look. I might add a couple of other UI elements, and these are just going to be some buttons to actually press to log text to the text log. This would obviously just be dependent on what you're actually doing in your game, so that you don't need to do these. These are just an example. So I'll just have one there, and what will I do? I'll set the text, so I'll just name that red button, and the text actually, so we'll do that. I'm just going to say, because I don't know, red warning. The text is what I'm hoping we can log to the actual text log, and the color will make sense in a second. Just going to do a duplicate, and we'll say green, and the text on that I'll just say normal. I don't know, something like that, whatever. Cool. I'll just move that down a bit. Alright, cool. Apply all that. Alright, so the buttons don't do anything yet. Let's write the scripts. So similar to last time, I have two main scripts. We have the control script down here, which I'm going to attach to the actual text log itself. So I might do that now, just before I forget. And we've got the text log item, which is going to be the script that sits on the actual text item itself. So we'll just drill down to that. There it is. And just get that one up there. Cool. Alright, now I've got them open down here, so we'll start writing them. So how should we do this? Alright, I'll start with the text log control. This is the one sitting on the text log itself. First thing we're going to need is a game object that we can access. Private game object. Text template. Alright, cool. I think that might be all we need for now. So next thing I'm going to do is we'll have a public void. Does it need to be? Yes, it does. Public void log text, and we'll just put a string in that, and that string can be new text string, and we'll do a color as well. Oops, Australian spelling there. We'll say new color. Alright, cool. And just before we go any further, I'm going to go to the text log item, so the text item itself. And what are we going to do? I'm just going to create a public. No, we can just do get component, doesn't matter. Cool. I'm going to do a public void set text. That'll do. Now I wonder if I should do the yes. So I'll say string my text and color my color. So when this is run, we're going to pass it some text, we're going to pass it a string, and we're going to pass it a color. And easy peasy, we're just going to say get component. No, I should probably point this out, I added it earlier. You need this, using unityengine.ui, or you won't be able to do this bit. So get component text. Need the brackets, text. is going to equal my text. And pretty similar, I'll just pinch this bit so I don't have to type it again. Dot color equals my color. There we go. So when each when each text item is created, we're going to send this to it, and we're going to tell it what text to display and what color it's going to display the text in. We'll get to that one. That'll make sense in a sec. So back on the control. Alright, we've got our function here to log some text. Once again, string and a color. Nice and easy. So similar to how we did last time, we're going to say game object new text. Don't think that'll cause problems. Nope. Equals instantiate text template as a game object, as type game object. We want to make it active, so new text dot set active needs to be true, not tree, true. Alright, so we should be able to now send those parameters to the text item. So if we do a get component, what will the component be? It will be the text log item script. And we are setting the text, and we're going to use the new text string, and we're going to use the new color. There it is. That should do the trick there. Alright, last thing we need to do is new text dot transform dot set parent, and the parent needs to be the same as the new text. No, not the new text. The text template dot transform dot parent, and we need that false parameter too. There we go. Alright, and as I mentioned as well, we want it to recycle old text, so we only want a certain amount of text items to be in that list before it starts deleting the old ones. And I think probably the easiest way to do that would be with a list, because I love lists. So private list, and that list is going to contain game objects, and we'll call it text items. Seems good. We need to initialize that in start. So there we go, text items equals a new instance of a list of game objects with brackets. There we go. And so when we do the log text, all we're going to do is a quick check. We're going to just say that if text items dot count is equal to 10, we'll just say 10. I don't know, whatever. You can have whatever you like in there. So if there's already 10 text items in existence, already 10 in the list, what we want to do, we want to create a temporary game object. We'll just call it temp item, that'll do, equals text items, and we want to get the first index 0, the very first item in that list. The reason being, when you add an item to a list, I believe it adds itself on the bottom. So hopefully when we add the new text item to the list in a second, it'll add itself as the last item on the list. So if we take the top item and delete it, that will mean that the list shifts itself up 1, and we can always be, so we're essentially taking from the top and adding to the bottom, if that makes sense. Cool. So what have we done? We've created a temp item, so temp item. Now we're just going to destroy it. Destroy temp item. We'll do a .game object, just so we don't accidentally delete the parent. Destroy the temp item, and then we're going to do a text items, so the list dot remove temp item. That should take it out of the list. So that'll get rid of the very last, well, the oldest item in the list. And then, like I said, we just need to add the new text. No, we don't. We do it this way. We do it text items. So we do it the list dot add new text. I'll just do a .game object too, just to make sure. Alright, cool. I think that's all we need, and this one's ready to go as well, so all we need to do is pass it those two parameters and it'll be happy. Last script I have is this one here, run log, and that's I'm going to attach to these two buttons, so I'll do that now. Red button, green button. You know what? No, I did set that up, never mind. Wasn't sure if I had. We haven't written anything in those scripts yet, so let's do that now. So in the run log, we're going to have two variables. We'll have the string that it's going to send, and we'll have the color that it's going to send. So yeah, I'll say serialized field, private string, my text, that'll do, and serialized field, private color, my color. Then all we're going to do is create another public void log text, that'll do. It's just a function. And when we do the log text, what do we need to do? We need to send stuff to the control. So actually we do need another variable. Sorry, and this can also be another private one. Private, what is it going to be? It's going to be a text log control object. Text control, there we go. How about log control? Yeah, that sounds better. Alright, cool. So log control dot so it's, what did I call it? I forget. Log text. Okay, nice and easy. Log text, and we're just sending it my text and my color. Easy peasy. So now, if we go to those buttons and we wait for it to update, when it does, we can see it here now. My text. So what's this one? We've got the red button warning. This is a warning log exclamation marks because it's important. We've got a red. I'll just set it to be a dark red color, I guess. Something that'll show up on the blue. It's gonna look hideous, but you know, whatever. That'll do. Just needs to be dark red. And we'll do the same for green. Everything is normal. Because green is normal, I guess. Not quite sure what my thinking is with that one. And finally, for both of those, we just need to add the log control object, which is just the text log. There you go. Just apply all that. And we'll go to the text item, just going to make that inactive, and apply, so it's not there. Now, I'll just do a quick check. Make sure I haven't forgotten anything. We got text looks happy. Content, got the vertical layout group, that's all set up. Content size fitter, the viewport, the mask, yep. The text log, got the scroll rect, clamped, vertical, yep. All looks good, and I'll just quickly check the scroll bar as well, bottom to top, which I think is what we want. If not, it's easy to change. There we go. Alright, cool. I know what we need. For the red and green buttons, we need to come down and actually tell it what to do. So we can't do those both at the same time, so I'll start with the red button. So we'll select the red button as the object that it's going to interact with. There's the run log script and the log text function there. Just make sure that's how I've set it up. Yep, cool. So I'll apply that and do the same with the green button. There it is, green button. Run log, log text. It's always one thing. There's always something. Always forget something. Cool. That should be everything. He says, knowing there probably isn't. That probably isn't everything. Alright, let's test this. So, if I click this, I should get something. Yeah, there we go. It's not working. What have I done? Like I said, always something. Alright, I know what I've done. We need to go to the text log. We need to assign the text template, which I thought I did. But oh well, not the end of the world. Let's try that again. Here we go. Nope, still nothing. Alright, why not? Let's have a quick look. What's it complaining about? Get component text log item set text. Okay. There we go. So this is the text log control script. I was trying to call get component on the actual control item. It doesn't have that script, so it was complaining. I forgot to put the new text dot get component. Oh, getting there. Apologies. Alright, just clear that. Run this. Hoping it should work. Fingers crossed. 3 times is going to be embarrassing. Please don't do that to me, Unity. Oh, it's still not working. Right, okay, that's what it is. My bad. So when we set those colors, I forgot it does this in the editor. It always sets the alpha value to 0, which means that the color won't show up. It'll be transparent, which doesn't help. So it was working, we just couldn't see it. You know, that's helpful. Anyway, cool. So now I've just set those, so on the red and green, just come down to the color we set, and yeah, just turn the alpha values up. I'm sure there's some people watching that were just like, oh dude, no, that's not going to work. Thanks for saying something, guys. Cool. I'll just maximize that so we can see. Alright, here we go. There we go. And look, everything is normal. It's still normal. It's normal. Oh, no warning. Oh, there it goes. And hopefully we shouldn't get over 10. It should stay consistent. So let's have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So we shouldn't see a red one. There we go. So it's keeping only 10 items in that list. You can see the mask could probably be adjusted, like you could probably drop that down a bit to keep it so you can't ever see it cut off like that. Or you could hide it, you could put some like menus or little borders there or something. But that's it working, you know, and it obviously doesn't have to be buttons. You can just call that function from whatever, from any script. So you know, if the player attacks and they do 20 damage, you can send that function from the player script or something like that. The idea is it's more just, yeah, log a menu, whatever, and that's how to get it working. So in the next one we'll move on to something I'm sure a few people will be keen on, but it's probably not going to be too dissimilar from this, but we're just going to try and do like a grid layout, an inventory system. But once again, like I reckon, yeah, if you've sort of watched this one and the last videos, you could probably even start putting that together yourself pretty easily by now. It is very much the same sort of concept. Really the only big difference is that you're using a grid layout group rather than a vertical. So yeah, have a play with that. I reckon you could even get it up and going easy peasy. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.